Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome once again, as always, to another helping of Mr H's Hot Pot. Join me today for day 27 of the UK lockdown, where currently I'm out and about taking my daily exercise and bringing you guys along for the ride as always. Now today, folks, I've come out to the countryside once again. I've come out in the old jalopy to give A, the old jalopy a bit of a run, and B, just to get out and have a change of scenery really. I'll just whip the camera around and I'll show you the lovely scene, the early morning scene that I'm now looking at. Look at that, it's beautiful, isn't it? Sun's shining, and it's not too bad. It's a little bit chilly because I'm in an open space at the moment, but it looks like it's going to be a decent day once again. Had a little bit of rain yesterday, didn't we? And it was a little bit damp and grey, but it's picked up again today, so that's a good O. Now, I've also come out to this particular area quite deliberately because it's an open space and there's a lot of wind around. And I'm trying out a new mic that I've managed to rig up in true Fred Dibner fashion. I've got hold of an old piece of equipment and I'm trying to repurpose it. Now, for those of you out there who remember computing back in the 1990s and early 2000s, you'll probably remember programs such as Yahoo Chat and MSN Chat, and eventually they moved on from typing it into a keyboard and they made it that way as you could actually speak across the internet, which was amazing back in the old dial-up days, wasn't it really? But you used to be able to go out and buy some mics, which was like a desk mic, you know, and it'd make your house look like a taxi rank with it stood, you know, with it stood there in front of your computer. Well, I still have one of those. I'm one of those type of people. I never throw anything away, me hot potters, if I can help it. So I've dug it out, I've cut it down and fettled it and made it that way as I can clip it onto my shirt, and hopefully this will be a way forward. You know, we'll have to see how the audio goes on this. Who knows, I might get back to the old jalopy, play it back and find out that it hasn't worked at all and it's not been a good one. But road tests have been pretty promising. But this is the first time I'm firing my homemade mic in anger, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, folks, day 27. Hope you're all well. I hope you're all in good spirits and you're all keeping well on today, day 27 of the UK lockdown. Now, yesterday, I had many comments once again. Big thank you to everybody who's chosen to comment on my videos. Some of you have been pointing out that you no longer watch the media. You've got fed up of media stories. I've said that I'm still taking in one portion of media a day. Two reasons, really. One, I want to see what's going on and try and pick out the truth from all the other dross that you get told. And number two, it gives me a talking point in these vlogs. Now, I've been very critical of how the media have been portraying this particular coronavirus crisis. I think rather than going down the road of sensationalism and trying to sell the newspapers and online media, they should be honest with people and just report the facts. But maybe I'm being old-fashioned on that, and there'll be plenty of acts out there who'll say, no, that's not how you do journalism, Mr H. Who knows? But what I was disgusted at the other day was the way they was trying to report that there'll be so many waves of coronavirus that's going to hit the country. You know, we're going to have so many spikes in this thing. And the first one I read said 6. The next media one I went on to said 9. And it was like an online auction with all the bloody media outlets. You know, any advance on 9, going once, going twice, going 3 times, sold, that's what we're putting in. And it just makes you wonder, who's coming up with these headlines? Is it the journalists? Is it some old hack somewhere in Fleet Street? Or are we being drip-fed these stories via government sources purely for the reason of keeping us on our toes? I mean, I don't want to go down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole. I try and keep away from that, as many of you out there know, and you appreciate. But it does make you wonder, are we being told some of these sensational headlines purely to keep us on our toes so we don't relax our guard? I mean, we're now 4 weeks into this lockdown, and it's a period where a lot of people are saying, well, I don't know anybody who's got it. I don't know anybody who's died from it. What's all this about? We're starting to question it. So by giving us a little bit of a horror story, you know, and a little bit of a push and a little bit of a scare, it might make us, you know, stick to what they want us to do. I don't know. Leave your thoughts below on that one. I mean, in Russia, if you're caught putting fake news out there, you can be jailed for it. And I think Turkey, they've arrested people for online protests. You know, Turkey, there's one. If you're from up north, where have you been? Where have you been on holiday, lad? Turkey. You know, that's how we say it up here. But yeah, Turkey, they're now putting people in jail for protesting. Not a good way to go. And there's another question, really. If somebody is deliberately putting out fake news for sensationalism, for example, we'll say the old 5G story. I know many of you out there do believe it, but that seems to have calmed down recently, doesn't it? But that sort of story, is that a suppression of freedom of speech? Because, you know, it's fake news, if it's found to be fake news, that is. You know, is that wrong to put people behind bars for freedom of speech, really? Even if it's in the people's best interest that they don't hear that sort of scaremongering. That's a good question, that, really, isn't it? Anyway, folks, on a personal note, I'd be interested in finding out what your old plans are for today. You know, it's a lovely day. Mr H has got a bit of an engineering project going. He's got a bit of further sun time. We're going to be rigging up his swing. We're going to be raising it up a little bit. I bought him one of these cheap things, you know, that you see in places. And I bought him that about 2 months ago. Only 2 A-frames and a bit of a seat on it. Anyway, he sort of fell out of love with it, as kids do. So I dismantled it and put it away because I was trying to save on space. And yesterday I said to Mrs H, we'll get it out and we'll see if he'll take to it again. So set it all up, proud dad. Brought him out, plonked him in it, and found his feet were dragging the floor. You know, and I said, I'm going to have to raise that up a bit. So we're going to get our thinking caps on afterwards, the H boys, and we're going to see if we can sort something out. But what are your plans for today? You know, because it is a lovely day. And we need to make the best of this weather, because when it turns, that'll be it. It'll be typical British weather. But it seems the sun is shining on us at present, so we need to make use of it. Make hay while the sun shines, as they say. Anyway, folks, I'm going to bring something up here a little bit. I don't normally bring up negative people on my channel anymore, but I had somebody come on last night and give me basically some negative abuse, you know. Can't believe you believe in this virus, you thick bald, which was spelt wrongly, by the way, and I'll leave the rest to your imagination, you know. And I'll be honest with you, if people come on, and this is really a message to negative people who watch my vlogs and are thinking of posting some abuse, I give you 2 strikes and then you're out. You know, if I see something that's negative like that, I'll let it go once, I'll just delete your comment and not say anything. But if you come on a second time and do exactly the same thing, then I'll just get rid of you. I'll be honest with you, I've learned a long time ago that there's no point trying to engage with trolls and people of that ilk. It's just easier to get rid of them. You know, I had a big learning curve me early on when I first started my channel, and one fella sort of latched onto me. And I was naive back then and a bit green and a bit protective of my channel and my product that I was doing. So when he came on and he used to try and give me some kind of abuse, I'd be sat there thinking some witty comeback or, you know, some clever put down. To the detriment of decent people who was leaving genuine comments, I was sort of ignoring them a little bit and just concentrating on negative people. I don't do that anymore. I'll just get rid of you. You know, at the end of the day, when my son was born, it changed my whole outlook on life. I suddenly realised what mattered. And negative people coming on, trying to give me a bit of stick, they don't matter. So, by all means, put your negative, nasty comments. If YouTube's filters doesn't pick it up and hold it for me to approve or not, you know, I'll guarantee you it'll last about half a day tops, and then I'll just quietly delete it, along with you and your profile. Right then, folks, we're slowly winding up to the 10-minute mark, as always. It goes fast, doesn't it, these little chats? It goes fast. I wish I could upload them as fast as it takes to make them, but there you go. So, folks, I'm going to leave it here. Wish you all well. I hope you enjoy your Sunday and your day 27 on lockdown as best as you can. After all, the sun is shining, so keep your spirits up. Stay safe as always, and until the next time, bye-bye for now.